So these are crazy times, right? Just totally unprecedented. What is happening here? Planet Earth overnight literally went from business as usual to we have no end in sight to this madness and this wild ride that we're on. And we're all in different spaces. Our support systems have shifted, our ways of taking care of ourselves has shifted, our habits has shifted, our workplaces has shifted, our communities have shifted, our relationships has shifted. And so many of those spaces are places of nourishment for us in one way or another. And with all of that structure moving around and being shifted and even completely evaporating in our lives, we have some adjustments to make. And we also have a tremendous opportunity. And the opportunity is for self love and giving our gifts and really tuning in and following our natural flow, the natural expression and pathway that our life wants us to go on. And as all of the things around us have changed and are now different, we have opportunities to go in new directions and to explore new relationships with ourselves and the people that we care about, and to really rebuild ourselves and rebuild our communities and rebuild our businesses, our workplaces, and our families and relationships. But here's the thing is, it's, it's kind of a cliche, but when you're on an airplane and the airplane is going through some turbulence or maybe something more severe, you need to put the air mask on yourself before you put it on others, because you need to be good. You need to be okay. You need to be solid for you to really be there to support others. So the first step, really, in making a great transition like this is really getting in tune with yourself and listening to yourself and being gentle and kind with yourself. And that all supports you making space for truly loving yourself. And, I honestly, I gotta say, I've heard people all my life say these things like, oh, you just need to love yourself and everything will work out. And I'm like, wow, that kind of sounds like it belongs on a fortune cookie, because that doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know how to do that. And I really have had some really challenging times even before this great transition hit, and I really felt alone and sad and just brokenhearted and a lot of things. And I kept on having people in my life in different ways, people that I didn't even know, strangers practically, that kept on bringing this message to my doorstep, to my feet, to my heart. And I really had to look at that and notice the natural flow that was happening in my life, the natural message and progression of events and circumstances around me and within me that were showing me that actually loving myself is the key to all of that. And I knew that I didn't know how to do that. I knew that I had no real, like, in my heart knowledge that was familiar to me about how to actually love myself, how to actually do that. But I just kept on following the path, and I kept on listening and listening to myself and tuning into my heart space and being curious and interested about myself and what do I really like and what's really important to me, and what are the things that I keep noticing myself being drawn to? What are the circumstances around me that are pulling at my heartstrings, that are drawing my attention away from whatever I think is so dang important? And following that flow, following that natural progression of this heart-centered feeling, this soul-centered feeling within myself of really valuing me and my own impulses for creativity, my own curiosities, my still quiet, gentle voice within myself that says, you can do this. It's okay. Believe in yourself. And the people around me that approached me with a gentleness that sometimes made me feel uncomfortable, because it was making space around the hurt and the wounds and the challenges that I'd been avoiding. And I'm so grateful for those people that had the willingness to hold space around me when that was something that was so hard for me to do for myself. And at that time I was so busy trying to hold space for other people and being caught up in the struggle of that, being caught up in how hard it was and how difficult it was, and how I would end up finding myself in pain or feeling depleted or just numb to what I was feeling, numb to what I really needed to focus on. But all of that was pointing me towards these deeper realizations, and the resistance that I was feeling in those moments was pointing me towards really looking inside and being curious and interested about myself and what I need and what I want. And I don't mean in a materiocentric way, like, oh, I need to have a better car and I need to have a better house. And, those things are important because you do need to, honor and love yourself, and, and really like know and honor your true soul, heart-centered desires. But I'm talking about something more essential than that. More essential, like, who are the people that really make me feel good about myself, that I don't have to try to be myself around, that I just naturally find myself being relaxed around? What are the places in my life where I just really, really am drawn to, that I just want to be all the time, that make me feel so good and so excited and so happy without having to try, without having to try and be somebody other than myself? And honestly, I'm so thankful for these challenges that I've had and this journey that I've had of not knowing how to love myself and not knowing who I am and not knowing what I am really here for, because that resistance has pointed me onto this extraordinary journey, this extraordinary adventure of getting to know myself and getting to know my heart and the quieter, gentler parts of myself that I've really found in introspection and quiet reflection and sharing special, beautiful moments that often happen synchronistically without me trying to make them happen, just by noticing a feeling and in a moment noticing I want to connect and I want to get to know this other person here. I want to go beyond what I've been doing, what's familiar, what's normal for me, and do something different, to try something that speaks to my soul, that might be uncomfortable, but it's a good uncomfortable, and it makes me feel alive when I do it. That feeling of aliveness, that's at the heart of loving yourself. Because to love yourself is to truly be alive and to be marveling at the magic and the miracle of your creation, of you. You are your own creation. You are an art piece that is reminiscent of what and who you are inside, at the essential heart and soul and core of your spirit. These core values, these core desires to give, to contribute, and to be of service, and to flow with the infinite possibilities of the creativity that is within you that cannot be controlled. So I want to really wrap this up by just saying that if you're in a place right now where you are in transition and you feel things changing and moving around you, and you feel that the support structures that have been there for you, that you've been relying upon, are either falling away or disintegrating or shifting and changing, that there is a way forward. And your first response might be to be scared or afraid or to panic or to just distract yourself or to be numb, but there's another way forward, and that it can really be simple to just slow down and tune in and listen and focus on your heart space. Focus on the truth that you feel there. Focus on what you know for sure. What makes you feel good? What makes you feel alive? And where you're naturally drawn to put your attention, and allow yourself to slow down. Allow yourself to feel more, to be curious about the resistance that's showing up in your life, to be curious about where it's pointing you, where it's directing you, where it's naturally funneling your energy and allowing your spirit, the aliveness within you, the energy that animates you, the natural intelligence of who you are, to guide your life here, and to let that part of you show you where you're needed, where you're being called to, and what you're being asked to create. So thanks for tuning in. I love you, and that's all for now.